Okay, guys, we're going to pop... Oops, I don't want red. Let's go to black. Try that again. We're going to jump right into the middle of Chapter 8. I know that sounds weird. We will go to the beginning, but we want to tie in what we learned about equations and talk about inequalities. Okay? So inequalities, think about inequalities. That's going to be the same as a prefix in, like inconsiderate would be not, and then equalities would mean like equal. So these are relationships about numbers, but they're not a variable that equals one number, it's a variable that equals lots of numbers. So we're going to create something that's called a Frayer model. And a Frayer model is like basically a big, huge definition. I think we've talked about them before. I can't remember. And our word's going to go in the center. And then we're going to create 4 sections that's going to describe, give a definition of the word. In the upper left and the upper right, it's going to be symbols that represent that word. And then we have examples, the bottom left. And then we have non-examples, things that do not describe them. Okay? So the word we're going to put in the center is going to be inequality. So let's start with a definition. So it's a mathematical sentence so it's not an expression. Mathematical sentence that states 2 quantities, so 2 different things, are not equal. Equal. Okay. So what's interesting is that these guys have an infinite, that means forever, amount, infinite amount of solutions. Okay? Very different from an equation in a lot of respects. Okay? So let's talk about symbols. Well, there are 4. Inequalities are going to use a greater than, a less than, a greater than or equal to, it's a lot of words, huh? Or a less than or equal to. Okay, so those are the symbols that we will use to deal with inequalities. We have examples of what inequalities might look like x plus 3 is less than 5. So we're not saying that those 2 sides are equal, we have less than, okay? We can say 8 is less than 12. We could say that x minus 5 is greater than or equal to x plus 5 minus 3x plus 2. So all sorts of different things when we're having a mathematical sentence. So it's going to include numbers, operations, variables, and inequality symbols. So what would be an example? Anything that's equal. So how about x plus 3 equals 5? That would not be an inequality. So in other words, any equation. That looks weird. Let me erase that. Try that again. Any equation. Okay? All right. So now I want to go to the next screen, and we're going to take our inequality symbols and we're going to come up with words or phrases that would represent. Okay? So let's start with this guy. Now, to make this be an inequality symbol, we're going to take words that sound like words we've heard before, but we're going to add something to it. So is like an equal word, but when I pair it with less than, it's the inequality symbol. So it's not a subtraction. Less than means to subtract and to switch the order, but because of the is, it becomes the inequality symbol. So another is fewer than. Okay, and an example of this would be like 3 is less than 5. Okay, let's go the other direction. Greater than. So how do I know that that doesn't mean to add? Those words aren't going to be the ones that mean to add. Well, we pair up with the word is. Is more than. Okay, is greater than. So an example of that would be 8 is greater than 4. Okay, let's do a couple more. Oops, we've got less than or equal to. So that's going to, now these are the weird words. Okay, these are going to be a little strange, I'm not going to lie. Okay, is at most. So at most sounds like it's going to be more, but at most means it could be smaller. So it's less than or equal to. So the or equal to is the most, and then it could be smaller than that. Is less than or equal to, that's pretty straightforward. Less than or equal to. And is no more than. This is as big as it gets, but then it could be smaller. Okay, so we could say that 7 is less than or equal to 10. Okay, and then the last would be the greater than or equal to symbol. So these words are, again, very strange. We've got is at least. So at least means this is the smallest it could be, but it could be more. All right. Is minimally. So is minimally. So minimally is the smallest. It's minimal, the smallest it could be, but that means that's the starting point. It could be bigger. And then is greater than or equal to. Try that again. Okay, so something like 12 is greater than or equal to 9. Now, you got to remember this. We were used to switcher phrases. These are not switcher phrases. You put that is in front, and we don't have a switcher phrase. So these phrases do not, I'm yelling at you, change order. Okay, so that's something we have to keep in mind with these phrases. If it's just less than, it means subtraction in the switch order. You put the is in front, now it's the less than symbol. Okay, so I'm going to remind you, I'm going to keep telling you this because this is so different from equations. Remember, there are an infinite, that means forever amount, okay? Infinite number of solutions with inequalities. With the equations we solved, there was one answer. But with inequalities, there's an infinite number of solutions. So let's do some practice on the next screen. Okay. So directions are going to ask us to find the solution of the inequality. Now here's the problem. When we did equations and they gave us like 3 numbers to try, once we found a number that was the solution, everybody wanted to stop. But remember I said you got to test them all because there's going to come a point when there could be more than one answer that works. Now's the time. So, first problem we're going to do says f plus 2 is less than 9, and they want us to try 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now, we could get none of them to work, one of them to work, 2 of them to work, or all of them to work, but we have to test all of them. So we're going to put the number, we're going to make a little chart. I like doing it that way. We'll put the inequality, so this is where we're going to do our work, so we'll make it bigger. And then we're going to determine whether it's a solution. So we're going to say yes or no. Okay, Y for yes, N for no. So our 3 numbers we're going to test are 6, 7, and 8. And here we go. F plus 2, sorry, let's try this again. Hello, remember what you're doing here. There you go. 6 plus 2 greater than 9. So 6 plus 2 is 8. Is 8 is 8 less than 9? Yes, it is. So we say yes. So for this particular problem, 6 is a solution. Okay, that's good news. All right, let's try 7. 7 plus 2 is less than 9. Let's see, 7 plus 2 is 9. Is 9 less than 9? Oh, no, it's equal to it. So we say no, N. So 7 is not a solution. All right, let's try 8. 8 plus 2, is that going to be less than 9? So I get 10 is less than 9, and no, 10 is greater than 9, so that's no. So then we would say 8 is not a solution. Okay? Now this one worked out that only one of the 3 choices worked, but that's not always going to be the case. All right. We've got another example, actually we have 2 of them. Is the given value a solution of the inequality? Okay, so number 2. So we're going to just be given one choice. So x plus 3 is greater than 9, and we would say, and then they're going to give us a value. So x is equal to 4. So we're going to use substitution, and we're going to substitute 4 in for the x, and we're going to test it out. So is 4 plus 3 greater than 9? So let's see, is 7 greater than 9? The answer is that's false. Okay, so if that's false, then here's our conclusion. 4 is not a solution of 6 plus 3 is greater than 9. If it's false, it's not a solution. All right, let's try another one. 12 is less than or equal to 18 minus y, and they're going to ask us to try 6 for y. So we're going to grab that 6 and we're going to substitute it in for y and see what we get. So 12 less than or equal to 18 minus 6. Okay, so let's see what we get. Is 12 less than or equal to 18 take away 6 is 12. Ooh, guess what? That's true. The or equal to saved us on this one. So if that's the case, then we conclude 6 is a solution of 12 is less than or equal to 18 minus y. Okay? So those are the kinds of things you're going to be practicing in Lesson 8-5. Good luck now. Bye.